Have you ever felt that that pull, that sort of deep urge to just step back from,
Hmm.
well, everything?
Yeah.
Escape the noise, get out into nature, maybe find some clarity, some purpose.
It's a pretty universal feeling, I think.
Exactly. And it's right at the heart of what we're diving into today. Henry David Thoreau and his really foundational 1854 work, Walden, or Life in the Woods.
Oh, Walden. Oh,
Classic.
but it's like so much more than just a book, isn't it? It's, I mean, part personal declaration of independence, part social experiment.
A spiritual journey, definitely.
Right, and satire, too, in places. It's this manual for self-reliance, really digging into what it means to live deliberately.
Yeah, deliberately is the key word there.
So our mission today is to unpack this really rich, sometimes kind of surprising text. We'll get into its origins, the core ideas, and its legacy, which is still debated, you know?
Absolutely. It's got layers. We've gone through a pretty comprehensive overview, trying to distill the key insights for you, our listener, to understand why Walden still hits home even today. Okay, let's unpack this. What really pushed Thoreau, a writer, a transcendentalist, to actually go live in the woods?
Well, there are a few different takes on that. E.B. White suggested Thoreau went to battle, sort of torn between just enjoying the world and needing to fix it.
Interesting, like an internal conflict.
Yeah, exactly. Then you have scholars like Leo Marx who saw it more as an experiment in transcendental pastoralism.
Okay, unpack that a bit. Transcendental pastoralism.
Right. So basically taking those big transcendentalist ideas, nature's goodness, spiritual truth within, and trying to live them out practically in a simple, natural setting, like Emerson's ideas put into action.
Gotcha. So not just theory, but I've also heard it called something more, well, mundane, an experiment in home economics.
That's another key angle, absolutely. That label fits pretty well. He genuinely wanted to test if he could not just get by, but actually thrive by cutting out all the superfluous luxuries.
Right, the non-essential.
Exactly. To live a plain, simple life, it was pretty radical, trying to prove you didn't need all this stuff society said you needed.
So he wanted to escape over-civilization for something more raw. But it wasn't just running away impulsively.
No, definitely not impulsive. It was very deliberate. I mean, even out there in the woods, he spent a lot of time reading and writing.
Right. It wasn't just chopping wood and fishing.
No. His bigger aim was kind of to understand society better, but from the outside looking in. Through introspection, simple living, self-sufficiency, all those core transcendentalist principles.
Which, just to remind folks, really emphasized intuition, individual experience, and finding truth in nature, often away from organized society. Right?
Precisely. That's the philosophical backdrop.
Okay, so how did he actually do it? Going from the idea to, living in a cabin, he built it himself.
Pretty much, yeah. He built a small cabin near Walden Pond. The land was actually owned by his friend and mentor, Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Ah, Emerson again, close to Concord, Massachusetts.
That's right. And he stayed for a very specific time, 2 years, 2 months, and 2 days. July 4th, 1845 to September 6th, 1847.
2 years, 2 months, 2 days. But the book,
Uh-huh.
it doesn't feel like it covers 2 years.
No, and that's one of the brilliant structural things about Walden. He condenses the whole experience into a single calendar year.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he uses the 4 seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall, as a kind of symbol for human development, for spiritual growth. It's really clever.
It gives it a cycle, a narrative arc.
Exactly,
Okay.
from introspection to rebirth.
And he was famously meticulous, wasn't he? Especially in that first chapter, economy. This is where it gets really interesting.
Mhm.
He listed, like, everything it cost to build the cabin.
Oh, absolutely everything, down to the half cent. It's quite remarkable.
What was the point of that? Just being frugal?
It was much more than that. It was central to his whole argument. He listed things like boards costing $8, 3.5F, refuse shingles for $4, nails $3.90.
Wow.
The grand total was US $28, 12.5 cents. But the key takeaway, the real insight, isn't just the number. It's the proof.
Proof of what?
Proof that you could meet your basic needs for incredibly little money. That a rich spiritual life didn't depend on material wealth. Freedom, for him, came from needing less, not earning more.
So that detailed accounting sets up his whole philosophy.
Perfectly. It leads right into where I lived and what I lived for.
And that famous quote, everyone knows this one, I went to the woods because I wished to live deliberately.
To front only the essential facts of life and see if I could not learn what it had to teach and not, when I came to die, discover that I had not lived.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff.
What does that really mean, though, to live deliberately?
I think it's about being conscious. aware, not just drifting through life. He wanted to, as he put it, live deep and suck out all the marrow of life. Yeah, to drive life into a corner and reduce it to its lowest terms. For us today, I mean, it's a huge challenge, isn't it? Are we really living or just existing? He pushes you to ask that.
To strip away the noise and find the essentials.
Exactly.
And his daily life seemed to be about that, too. Like in the sounds chapter, he talks about being forever on the alert, always looking at what is to be seen. Finding amusement in just the sounds around him. Church bells, wagons, cows, birds. It wasn't about seeking entertainment outside, was it?
No, that's a crucial point. The amusement, the richness, it came from within, from paying attention to his immediate surroundings, finding the extraordinary in the ordinary.
It's a kind of mindfulness, really.
Very much so. Cultivating that deep connection with right here, right now.
Now, you might picture him as this total hermit, but that's not quite right, is it? In Solitude, he mentions leaving 3 chairs ready for visitors.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? He actually said he got more visitors out at Walden than he did living in Concord.
Really? Who was visiting him out there?
All sorts of people. He talks about one guy, Alec Therian, a French-Canadian woodsman. Couldn't read or write. Thoreau described him as leading an animal life.
Interesting comparison.
Yeah, he even compares him to the pond itself, sort of raw, natural. It shows Thoreau was interested in all kinds of human experience, not just the intellectual kind.
So he wasn't completely cut off. He still engaged with society. Like in the Village chapter, he went into town.
Oh, yeah, he went into Concord for supplies, gossip, news. But one trip was particularly famous.
The poll tax incident.
Exactly. He got arrested and spent a night in jail because he refused to pay a poll tax.
Why? What was the protest about?
It was his protest against the government, specifically its support of slavery and the Mexican-American War. He wrote about refusing allegiance to a state that buys and sells men, women, and children like cattle.
So, a very direct act of civil disobedience.
Absolutely. It connects directly to his ideas about individual conscience being more important than unjust laws. Though, importantly, he wasn't aligning with a specific political party. It was about his personal moral stance.
Right. Understood. And beyond people, his connection with nature itself seems incredibly deep. The way he describes the ponds, lovelier than diamonds.
Oh, his observations are incredibly precise, poetic even. Watching the winter animals, the owls, hares, squirrels.
And the coming of spring. He describes the ice melting with powerful thundering and rumbling. You can almost hear it.
He truly saw nature as alive, vibrant, full of meaning. Which leads into that chapter, Higher Laws.
Ah, yes, where he gets into diet and hunting.
Right. He discusses moving beyond sort of carnal appetites. He questions hunting and eating meat as part of striving for a higher state.
Although he did eat fish and pork himself sometimes, didn't he?
He did. It wasn't about rigid dogma for him, maybe, but the principle. He wrote, one must love that of the wild just as much as one loves that of the good, and that the ideal is living on plants you cultivate yourself.
The harmony with nature.
That seems to be the goal, yeah. Even if achieving it perfectly is, well, complicated.
Okay, so moving beyond the story of his time there, Walden is obviously this huge philosophical statement. What are the big, enduring ideas that still speak to us?
Well, I think the emphasis on solitude, contemplation, and that closeness to nature, that's still incredibly powerful. Seeing those things as a way to escape what he called a life of quiet desperation.
Which he thought many people were living.
Yeah. And it's definitely a sharp critique of, consumerism, materialism, and how society often disconnects us from nature, sometimes even destroys it.
The simple life isn't just less stuff, it's more life.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, and specific themes come through really strongly, like self-reliance. That's huge in Walden, isn't it? Echoing Emerson.
Absolutely. Both economic self-reliance, providing for yourself, and social or intellectual self-reliance, trusting your own intuition. It's core transcendentalism.
And simplicity.
Yeah.
Like literally patching his clothes, avoiding unnecessary buying.
Yeah.
That freed up his time.
Yeah. Exactly. Less time working for stuff meant more time for living, observing, thinking, writing, leisure in the true sense.
He also critiques progress, doesn't he? The idea that new technology or faster trains automatically make life better.
Right. He questions if all that outward improvement actually leads to inner peace. A really relevant question today, I think.
Definitely. And underpinning it all is this call for spiritual awakening.
Yeah, he saw that as the source. Like if you awaken spiritually, inwardly, then finding truth in nature, living simply, self-reliance, all that follows. It starts from within. Nature reflects us, teaches us.
It's not just what he says, though. It's how he says it. The writing itself is pretty unique.
Oh, completely. His prose, it's often called surgically precise, like every word is deliberately chosen.
And the metaphors?
He uses these incredible extended allegorical metaphors. So not just a quick comparison, but these elaborate symbolic ideas woven through the text. Plus vivid descriptions, obviously.
He uses lots of literary tricks, too, right? Irony, satire.
All of it. Understatement, hyperbole, personification. He shifts tones constantly. He can be scientifically observant one moment, then deeply transcendental the next, sometimes in the same sentence.
It's not always a straightforward read, though. I mean, it can be challenging.
No, it's definitely not beach reading. And that's intentional, I think.
How so? Why make it challenging?
He fills it with sarcasm, paradoxes, and double entendres. Little word plays and contradictions. It's like he's trying to tease, challenge, and even fool his readers, as one critic put it.
Why? To make you work for it.
Pretty much. He felt that for some truths, especially the deeper, nonverbal ones, words were kind of inadequate. So he uses language in tricky ways to force you, the reader, to engage, to reach beyond the literal meaning, to think with him.
Makes sense. So who influenced this style? We mentioned Emerson as a mentor.
Right, Emerson was huge, but Thoreau really found his own voice. People point to Thomas Carlyle, too, especially for the way Thoreau uses clothes as a metaphor for society and identity.
It's a clothing metaphor.
Yeah, and there are tons of biblical allusions. That line, Walden was dead and is alive again, directly echoes the prodigal son story in Luke. He personifies the pond, linking its cycles to human transformation.
Wow. So given all this depth, this challenging style, how did people react when it first came out in 1854? Was it a bestseller?
No, not even close, actually. It had a really slow start.
Really?
Yeah, it took 5 years just to sell 2,000 copies. It actually went out of print for a while until after he died in 1862.
Huh. I wouldn't have guessed that.
But interestingly, recent research suggests it was received maybe better than we used to think. Like, out of 66 early reviews, 46 were actually strongly favorable.
Oh, okay. What did they like?
They praised his independence, his practicality, his wisdom, his manly simplicity, his fearlessness. Emerson himself said, "All American kind are delighted with Walden." So it wasn't totally ignored.
But it wasn't universally loved either. There were critics.
Oh, for sure. Words like quaint or eccentric popped up a lot. Some called him selfish, strange, impractical, privileged, even misanthropic.
It's misanthropic.
Wow.
Yeah. Robert Louis Stevenson called his lifestyle unmanly, something almost dastardly. And the poet Whittier felt he was telling people to lower themselves to the level of a woodchuck.
Ouch. Any modern critiques?
Yeah, more recently, Catherine Schultz wrote a piece accusing him of hypocrisy and being sanctimonious based on selective readings, though that critique itself got criticized for being, well, selective.
So, a complex reception history, but today, it's definitely considered a classic.
Undeniably. Robert Frost said that with Walden, Thoreau surpasses everything we have had in America. John Updike called it a totem for the whole back-to-nature anti-consumerist mindset.
To the point where Updike worried it might become as revered and unread as the Bible.
Exactly. It holds that kind of cultural weight now. People know it even if they haven't, read every page.
And its influence goes way beyond just literature, right? Pops up in some unexpected places.
It really does. It's kind of amazing. I mean, there's a critically acclaimed video game, Walden, a game.
A video game.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. An open-world simulation of his life in the woods, released on his 200th birthday. And there's the Digital Thoreau Project online, with different versions of the text for scholars to study.
That's wild. What else? Businesses? Music?
Well, the psychologist B.F. Skinner was inspired by it to write his utopia, Walden 2. Themes pop up in movies like Dead Poets Society.
Oh, yeah, you can see that.
The metal band Nightwish quotes him. The investment firm Morningstar, named after the last line of the book. The sun is but a morning star.
No way. Morningstar.
Yep. And even in the video game Fallout 4, there's a Walden Pond location with a little tourist guide talking about Thoreau.
That's incredible. It's everywhere, even in climate science.
Exactly. Professor Richard Primack uses Thoreau's detailed notes on when plants flowered or birds arrived as historical data to track climate change impacts.
Wow. Using Walden for climate research.
Yeah. And many argue the whole genre of American nature writing pretty much starts with Thoreau. Its reach is just huge and ongoing.
So after this deep dive, what's the final takeaway? What does Walden mean for us now in our crazy, busy lives?
I think it's remembering that Walden is all those things we talked about: a personal story, a sharp critique, a scientific record, a philosophical guide. It's this enduring reminder of the value of living deliberately.
Paying attention.
Yeah, paying attention,
Mm.
self-reflection, and making that conscious effort to connect with the natural world however we can find it, even if it's just, a moment of quiet thought.
And that famous closing line sums it up pretty well. If a man does not keep pace with his companions, perhaps it is because he hears a different drummer. Let him step to the music which he hears, however measured or far away.
Trusting your own rhythm.
Right. So maybe the question for you, listening now, is, in this hyper-connected world, what small, deliberate step could you take to live deep, to hear your own different drummer, and maybe find your own kind of Walden?